Hi, all you SPMEs out there. Today's video has 3 points, and you're going to want to stick around because the third point is one or maybe a couple overlooked secrets that authors miss when they're trying to become Amazon #1 bestsellers. So let's get into it. The topic that we're going to hit in today's video is how to become a #1 best-selling author on Amazon. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. You've got your very first book that you're either working on or you've released it, and you're thinking, why is it not reaching the rank of #1 bestseller on Amazon? You've been working so hard, you put the book together, the quality is great, the cover, the design, everything's looking fantastic, and yet you still seem to not be able to get this elusive concept of the Amazon and #1 bestseller flag. You see these other books that are lower quality than yours, and it leaves you feeling very frustrated. Well, that is what we are going to hit in today's video. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like for me to make more videos like this one and that you won't miss any of the next ones. In addition, grab my a copy of my free self-publishing checklist secrets down below in the comments, in the description, and it will help you make sure that you are not skipping any of the steps necessary to win and get your book selling on Amazon and other places. So let's get into it. When I first got started, I put my very first 2 books on the market, and they did make it into the top 100,000, what they call the basic sales rank, or BSL, on Amazon, which is a key issue because it means you're selling a copy a day of these books, at least a copy a day. Now, sometimes it changes from year to year how exactly it plays out, but this is a very good starting point to look at, which is, are we able to get it in that range? But that's not good enough if you wish to be an Amazon bestseller. 1 a day is not going to be sufficient for you. So what happened was, when I put out my 3rd book, I followed many of the key rules for making a bestseller status, and I ended up hitting that bestseller status for a 3-week period. In fact, a few months later, I hit it yet again in those categories that I was shooting for. The interesting part is that I learned all of this by just by accident. I had no idea. In fact, that's how many authors, in fact, do reach that status, is you don't even know. You put a book on the market and it just somehow seems to get this bestseller status. But later, I began to understand that by choosing deeper categories and optimizing the book and using great keywords in the book, that was the reason why on this particular book, I was making that thing, getting the bestseller status. And that has also happened with a lot of other books since that point, even the earlier books, the ability to optimize those books so we have everything in place to ensure that we're going to get the sales that we deserve for our books when we're putting them out onto the market. So, how to become a #1 best-selling author on Amazon? Well, the first thing is you need to choose a niche that is actually selling a lot of books. We don't want to sell in a niche that doesn't even exist or there aren't that many book sales going on. And that brings us back again to the bestseller status. We look at the books that are the bestseller, and you'll notice there's a pattern among them in which categories that they're in, and in fact, how many books are selling. And that's why I like to look at the basic sales rank to make sure that it's in the top 100,000. How many books are showing in the top 100,000 for that keyword or niche that you're in? And if there's very few books total on sale, you get what I call the magical ratio there. I use a tool called KDSpy. You can check out below my affiliate link in the description. That's what I use to figure it out. I take the total number of books and divide by how many of the top 100 books are in the top 100,000 basic sales rank, the BSR. Does that make sense? And so then that gives me a ratio. So I like to do books that are under 30. So that would be 30, for every 30 books on the market, 1 of them is in the top 100,000. So this is what I use. You may choose to use a different tool. I've also used Kindle. I've used Publisher Rocket. That's another one. I have an affiliate link below in the description to figure out which keywords can be very useful. But KDSpy is still my go-to tool when it comes to finding out the right keywords for our books that we're putting on there, because we want to make sure there's low competition. High sales, low competition. It's a perfect market to be writing our books in. So this is a very key issue. You skip this one, you may become a bestseller, but in a niche or in a category that has too few books to even get the label of bestseller. Number two, you should optimize your books so they look and feel like a bestseller. So go ahead and take a look on Amazon for the top sellers in your niche. Now, if you aren't finding any books, that's a problem. But if you have the top sellers in your niche, and take a look, what do they look like? How long are they? How many reviews do they have? Is there something special about the way the words and the titles that they use? Because if there is, you need to make sure your book looks just like those books. But then comes our secret answer, and this is a little bit of a combo, because when we're coming out with our book onto the market, it's very important that we get these elements correct. And the secret answer is you should choose a category that is deep enough. So you don't want to do a category like health, or general. You want to go deeper down to find categories that are lower that you can rank for. I've even heard the comment you can ask them up to 10 categories. That was somebody who had mentioned, I think it was Sean who had mentioned it recently, that you could have up to 10 categories. You can do 3 initially, but then you can ask them to add it into those additional categories, giving you even more opportunity. And that's a secret. I haven't even fully implemented that one myself, but very useful advice. The other thing is you should use your list to get sales. You might be wondering, what is a list? An email list. Well, that's the thing you should be building if you really want to get lots of reviews and lots of sales. This is a key strategy that all best-selling authors who aren't using it, I don't know why they're doing it, because it definitely will help you build up an audience that you can then ask them to leave reviews on your book. And also when you come out with new books, you make it easy for them to purchase from you since they like your books. We're building up that audience, that list of customers. So if we ever leave Amazon, we could take those people with us. We just tell them where our new book is located. The next thing is, and that was using your list. The final thing I wanted to point out, it was that when your book first goes live on Amazon, Amazon itself will promote your book. And so if we can get a lot of sales in the early days, when you first put it out there, Amazon also wants to do it. And if you put your book into KDP, let's see, what is it? The Select, KDP Select program, then that'll be perfect to get your book selling right from the start, so that we have so many sales, so much momentum, they're pushing your book, and we reach that coveted bestseller status where you get the flag on your book, and at that point you've become an Amazon bestseller. I would not recommend trying to cheat the system by paying people to buy thousands of copies of your books. These sorts of things are not very good strategies, and Amazon may in fact punish you. I've seen people even try this strategy with click banks, where you would have, it was the bank click, bots, having bots purchase your book. You put it on free promotion, have thousands and thousands, and then you end up getting warnings about Amazon shutting your account down. So I would not recommend that, and also do not pay for reviews. That will get your account banned. Even though, of course, getting lots of downloads and all of these things. But Amazon is very clever, and they will see what's going on. So it is best just to stay in the up and up, build a list, build an audience, ask them for reviews. Make sure as you come out with new books, you're sending it out to that audience, and we're using everything we can, in addition to ads, to drive that traffic to reach the coveted Amazon bestseller status. So I have a question for you. Have you ever had a book become an Amazon bestseller? And I mean where you get the tag, it says Amazon bestseller in whatever category it might be. If you have, I want to know about it. Write yes below in the comments. And if you've never had that happen, write no below in the comments, and that will help me understand where you're coming from. And check up above me here for more video answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.